This clip is brought to you by BattleOnline.com.
Peace, family. It's your boy Fonzie Neutron representing for BattleOnline.com. And this weekend, we're joined with an exclusive special guest, and it's the one and only G.I. Peachez.
Whoa, what it do? It's your girl G.I. Peachez, or you can call me Project Barbie. All the same.
But there you go. You got it in. Usually I try and get the aliases in for somebody, but I was just making sure I got the G.I. Peachez right, because the last time when I was speaking about you, I made the mistake of saying Miss Peachez, and it's because I want to say Miss for respect, but then he said Peachez, but then I'm forgetting there's already, so I guess starting with that, do you want to break down where the GI from G.I. Peachez come from?
So it's kind of like a correlation to my brother since he is Soulja Slim. So it's like, hey, it's a play on the whole soldier, whole army themed thing. So I'm like, hey, I don't want to be G.I. Jane, but I could definitely be G.I. Peachez. I mean, I've always been Peachez.
Okay, so that's interesting. You see, so that's something I've learned right there. So it takes the whole military aspect, the whole G.I. Jane thing, taking it to another level, still keeping it street, obviously with the Project Barbie and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah. But only keep it street. Only keep it street.
So you mentioned obviously being the sister of the late great legendary Soulja Slim. We definitely want to say, rest in peace to a legend right there. We're celebrating hip hop's 50th anniversary at the minute, and he's definitely somebody who's got a significant amount of value that is added to the hip hop industry and culture and stuff. So we definitely want to commend him, and obviously, extend our condolences to yourself, Miss Linda, and the rest of the family and stuff.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So, getting a bit of a start for yourself growing up in the Magnolia, little sister of Soulja Slim. I mean, what was it like for you growing up and stuff?
So, growing up has always been different for me because I've always had to exist in two parts of the world. So I am, of course, Soulja Slim's sister. So that's one side of my life. And then I have my own life of being my own person with my own personality, of course. But coming up was very, very, very different than anybody else's life because my brother was getting picked up in limousines and doing concerts and shows, music. When he would come and pick me up from school, people would just go crazy.
Yeah, I could imagine that being quite an experience and stuff at such a young age. We've seen a picture, obviously. I know there's plenty of others with you and Slim, and it's got you got a big smile and stuff on your face, and you can just kind of see that kind of love and stuff between you guys. So, as you said, being a youngster, having your big brother as an artist coming through, picking you up and having that kind of impact, what was it like with other people? How did they sort of treat you and stuff?
I've always, like I said, that goes with being a part of my own life. Like I've always had my own existence and always had my own personality. So I have my own group of friends. They never treat me any different. Like I've never had to deal with people who particularly might want to be my friend because of who I'm kin to. I haven't had to deal with that, thank God. I'm pretty good with weeding out people that aren't genuine. You know what I'm saying? But being Soulja Slim's sister is no different from being a regular person that goes to school every day, and it's really no different. You are the same person. You want to get treated the same because being kin to a celebrity is definitely not the easiest task you can have.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Sometimes it might come with like additional sort of pressures and stuff from the outside, or how others might perceive you or see you.
Well, only problem that I think I dealt with mostly is like when I would have friends, their parents would like make judgments based on who I was kin to. Oh, you can't go to their party. I remember one time for my sweet 16 birthday party, one of my friends couldn't come. This was around a time where it was being rumored that people were killing people as revenge for my brother. So she wasn't allowed to come to my party because her mom felt that it was dangerous, hanging out or being close to me because of the situation that was rumored in the streets. So that could kind of hurt, especially for a child,
Of course, definitely, it's a lot to process, as you said, for a child and at a young age and stuff like that. Speaking of your mother and stuff as well, she's a part of is it a brass band?
No, she's a part of a second line organization.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's the president of the Lady Buck Jumpers. They're what we call here in the states of Louisiana, New Orleans particularly. It's a particular tradition, culture called second line culture. It goes with clothing. It does a lot with music. It does a lot with dancing. You should check one out if you ever get to come down to New Orleans.
Yeah, I've been out there before, but never had the chance to check that out. Never seen Mardi Gras and stuff either. I think the last I came out was they had one of the Essence festivals, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, so you get to get a little culture.
A little bit of the flavor of the culture, but you growing up even in that and around that, I was just only asking that because I'm guessing just music and culture and stuff is something that's been a part of your family and just runs in the blood.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, my brother is a rapper. My mother has been a part of this club probably since before I was born. My stepdad is also the tuba player for Rebirth Brass Band, and they got a Grammy for doing just that music, brass band music. So we come from a long line of culture. It's just music is embedded in my bloodline.
So yourself then coming up, just as an individual, who was some of your musical influence out there that you was listening to, as a young teen?
Like I said, I think I come from a good time frame where it was like the end of a good music frame. So like during that time, I remember I was listening to Missy Elliott heavy. Missy Elliott was forever will be one of the dopest female musicians that they got in the game. She did things that I don't even know how she did it, but she had an ear for music. Of course, Mia X, Down South legend. You can't forget Mia X. We were listening to Mia X. No Limit, Cash Money, of course. Hot Boys, gotta love the Hot Boys. Main part of our DNAs. Whole lot of. I wasn't listening to no up north music too much, but definitely down south heavy.
Okay. I mean, what about rest in peace? She recently passed, Gangsta Boo.
Who that?
Gangsta Boo.
Gangsta Boo. Oh yeah, Gangsta Boo down south.
Yeah.
That's down south right there. Down south heavy.
Yeah, definitely a legend and stuff. I mean, when I think of especially the South and even New Orleans, I think New Orleans has definitely had like some standout female artists over the years, from your Keedy Blacks to Junie Bezel, Katie Redden, Magnolia Shorty, and even yourself to figure it in. I think there's something I've always thought unique about the female spitters from New Orleans. Just they got a different kind of edge,
Always got a different kind of edge. That's why it's crazy that the Grammys would leave out a whole era like the New Orleans music, like in the hip hop thing. That was very weird to me that they would leave out New Orleans, because that's an era. Just like 3 6 Mafia, that's an era. Like New Orleans was an era. The Hot Boys, No Limit, that's an era.
I mean, a lot of people have chimed in with the Grammys and feel as though it was underrepresentative in some aspects, primarily with the West and some Southern artists. I know they say it's a lot for them to, sort of fill, but when doing something like a 50th anniversary or celebration, you do want to kind of encapsulate the most of everything. With that being said, recently there was a documentary that was released, the HipHop Homicide series, and that served to shine some light, I guess, on your brother's circumstance and situation of what happened. How did you feel the documentary came off, and was you ultimately happy with the episode?
I was not happy with the episode at all. I think a lot of wool was pulled over our eyes when it came to the show. We had, like I said, no idea about Master P or the people that he was bringing in, and the people that they were cutting out. We had absolutely no idea about that. And if we were told that he would be participating, then we definitely would have said no.
Okay. So when you say the people that he brought in, is that Money Mike? Because I know I seen a tweet in one aspect. I think you put a tweet out and said Money Mike isn't really qualified to speak enough for his relationship with your brother.
Yeah, like he's from the West Bank. Like that's he's from the West Bank. Like the West Bank, like the West Bank. It's not New Orleans. When Amaretta says it's not New Orleans. It's not New Orleans. So you don't know New Orleans to speak on New Orleans. You from like the country parts of New Orleans, like way on the other side. Like we gotta go across water just to get to you.
So it's a whole different, a different environment.
Right. Yeah. He don't know my brother though. That's Master P people.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, I just want to kind of, you know, not to spend too much time on this, but you know, there was some things that was brought up within the documentary. There was an issue about allegedly about, I think it was $10,000 or something for a home repairment. Is there any truth to that? That what people are saying and that didn't get sorted out?
I don't know anything about that. I wouldn't know anything about that. I didn't watch the documentary, but I don't know anything about that.
Okay. I mean, you know,
I think it really was no issue with them. My brother just wanted to go on his own. You know what I'm saying? He was an entrepreneur. So that's why I don't know why would people get on TV and say he was on drugs. I don't understand that for the life of me. But my brother wasn't on drugs during No Limit time at all. Outside of marijuana, which, you know, people don't really consider a drug. It's a drug, but we don't really consider it that. But outside of that, my brother was not on drugs. That's a false narrative that is being pushed by these people to defame his character and name. But I'm here to go ahead and debunk that and let you guys know, if you go back to listen to any of Soulja Slim's album, because y'all are real Soulja Slim fans and y'all are able to see through a lot of the bullshit that is being pushed. He tells you about his life, and that's why he's such a remarkable artist. And his music lives on through this day because he's able to tell you about his life, but it also resembles your life.
hey, man, I think, you know, you couldn't have said that any better. You know, being a huge Soulja Slim fan myself, that's one thing that always struck a chord with me from his music was just his ability to encapsulate just his own street stories, but making it relatable to obviously everybody else as well. And you could really tell from his spirit and stuff, a lot of the stuff that he had been through and just the type of person, I guess, he was or he wanted to show to the world. And it wasn't just all about like gangsterism and stuff like that. That was just, you know, an element which I feel is a part of the music and stuff like that. So a lot of fans have, you know, sort of caught on to, as you said, different narratives being pushed as sort of, you know, who has what to gain from them, because what we heard from Slim, even in his later albums, he was always saying that he had kicked those habits and stuff like that. You know, he said, "I healed that wound from '95." You know, he had loads of lyrics that was just, you know, speaking towards that. So we're glad that you're out there, just standing as strong as you are, clearing up a lot of these false narratives and stuff.
Yeah, you know, you don't want. It's already bad for rappers as is when they, you know, our circumstances, we come from where we come from. We can't, you know, if we could change our circumstances, that's what we're doing. We're creating and performing art to change our circumstances. So we already painted negative anyway. Like, it's no need to pin false accusations on people's names. They're dead. They gone. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to pin false accusations on their name for any reason at all, in my opinion. But to debunk those things, I think in my brother's final years, he was really about being a businessman. He was really going to be a bigger businessman, probably than a lot of artists. So he really wanted to go from artist to businessman, and I admire that about him.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I remember at that time he was doing a lot of stuff with BG. Do you maintain a much relationship with BG and his family and stuff?
Well, BG is on his way home, so you know all we can say is we're gonna be happy to say BG is free. We got tired of kind of saying free BG, so it's a couple more months and we'll be in the presence of BG. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Okay, that would be great. We know, I think it was around last year, somebody put up, a, I think it was a picture, went viral, and everybody was saying it was BG, but it was, you know,
Yeah, and that man didn't look nothing like no goddamn BG, and y'all know y'all was wrong for that. Y'all know y'all. I'm like, that man don't look nothing like no BG.
yeah, but it showed you how happy everybody was just at the
Well,
fact
it's
that
right.
thinking he
Yeah,
was
I mean
coming home.
everybody's happy, but he's coming. But it's this year.
So even when we talk about, I guess, some of your music, I recently saw a freestyle that you did on was it with that guy Flagboy? Was it for We Outside? He got like a series of different
Oh yeah, Flag Boy Giz. Shout out to Flag Boy Giz doing the whole thing for New Orleans culture.
yeah. So what was it like participating in that? Because quite a few legendary artists have put one down and stuff as well. So you being included in that, how did that feel?
It was dope. It was really really cool. I hadn't really been doing a lot of music. Once my record deal that I had done was done, I hadn't been really really pushing the whole music aspect of doing things with music. So to connect with Flag Boy Giz and him be so accepting and be like, yeah, you can get on it. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I'll come out with the clothes on and everything. I really appreciate it. And it's one of my biggest songs right now. One of my biggest moments. To be on the news was really dope. Be included on that. It's just really a dope experience. And it connects us as New Orleans artists more than we even realize. Because we don't get to work together too often. So to be connected and not realize we're being connected, I really think that was a dope experience. And I'm glad that I got the chance to be a part of it.
No, that's awesome. Yours is definitely one of my favorites as well. And you know, I like that you got your mother and stuff in the video. You know, you guys always display just that good relationship and just, you know, things that show unity for the culture. I'm always for. So definitely salute to that. You say you haven't done much music. I know you've put different mixtapes and projects out over the years. You've had the project Barbie. Can I ask you about the album cover and that? Was that inspired by Mercedes?
Yes, so I wanted to do something different for Project Barbie. A lot of people were anticipating the album. It was the pandemic. So I just went through my, you know, I think that some of my dopest memories was having that album from Mercedes. So when it goes back to hip hop music in my life. And I just wanted to, it was nostalgia and I just brought it back to life. I asked her, could I do it? She said, yeah. And it just went from there.
Yeah, no, that's pretty dope. And when we say, you know, just about bringing things back to life, you've had a couple of remixes in the sense that of, you know, in an artistic way, brought Slim back. You've got the you did something on the Make It Bounce.
Oh yeah, sure. Yep. One of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite songs by my brother, Make It Bounce. So yeah, I did that one way back. I just re-released it. But I love that song. I love it when he did it by himself. So for me to be able to add a verse is even doper. And I might redo it and revamp it again. So count that on my list.
Okay. And you've got I think you did something like You Got It as well. If you read that a freestyle on that.
Oh yeah. Oh, y'all went throwback. Y'all going to all the old stuff. I be forgetting about all. I did do that. I did. That's one of my favorite songs too.
Yeah.
And I did get the chance to do that. That was dope. I'm like, oh my goodness, I hadn't thought about that in years.
You know, so you know, I like that you touch back and just keep that original element popping. Another freestyle I'm gonna go on to as well, which was the Master P, make him say beat. And
Oh wow.
that was you know, that was tight. And KLC on that beat. You want to speak a bit about your relationship with KLC? Are you signed to KLC's label?
No.
Okay. I thought there was some kind of deal there. So
Yeah, that's my pass.
okay. Is it something you can speak on, or next question?
It wasn't for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I am who I am. I feel like I built myself up to a certain statue for being who I'm kin to so much. And just for working hard. Like, and my work ethic and other people's work ethic don't be the same. And it just wasn't working out between us. I also had just had a daughter, and it was just our times, you know, weren't working out. When you're a parent, you're predominantly the only parent. It's hard to, you know, jump up when people need you to jump up right then and there. I got my daughter, that come first, that come before everything else. So it wasn't the right time for us. I have mad respect for KL. Still, I just don't mess around with the mess arounds when they be messing around.
I got you, Miss Slow. Well, you know, just speaking of, I guess, what direction you gonna go with, like, your new music and stuff like that. I mean, is there anything we can anticipate over the near coming future?
Hard verses. Everything I drop is gonna be hot. Everything I'm dropping is hot. I mean, I got some stuff in the bowl right now that's gonna knock their socks off. This is the year of progression for me. This is the year of promotion, progression for me. So I'm just only trying to get better as an artist. And I feel like I've elevated a lot and I'm ready to share that with the world.
Okay. I saw another interview that you did as well. I believe it could have been with Rare Report, where you were speaking on various matters, but one of the things that struck a chord with me, you spoke about, I think, music publishing and stuff. And when we think of the music business, this is something that, you know, you've got artists that have been in it for probably 10, 20 years and still learning about stuff like this. How difficult is it for you to, you know, even acquire the knowledge that you had so far with just learning through all of this and then still having to juggle just everyday life and stuff like that as well?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest, I'm at a 10 right now. It is very complicated most times, but you want it to be right. Because you could, you know, it's a headache, but if you don't get it right, like a lot of people sit back and think that things just straighten themselves out, that I believe in God, but I believe that I got to do the work too. The work got to be done. Like it's no magic wand that God just shakes and things happen. You have to do the work. I can't say, oh God, I want to be a rapper, make me a star, but I ain't doing the work. I don't got the work ethic behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's just craziness. So people think that things correct itself when they don't put their mind on it or when they don't think about it. That's not how life works. So if you're sitting out there, you're sitting on your couch, you know, you got family members that maybe they died, they was making music in the 50s. Take that time out to make sure your people's stuff is correct. Because there's still money out there and somebody making it. Somebody making it. If you ain't making it, somebody making it. They got an Indian man way in a hut somewhere collecting my brother YouTube royalties.
Wow.
Like it's somebody doing it. It's gonna be somebody. So just do it.
I think especially when the internet happened, I think just that explosion, I think for many years, even you just saying that about some Indian brother in a hut, you know, but I think people was able to get away with that shit for so many years because
for so many years, yeah.
Nobody knew, you know, even myself, like I was, you know, always listening to music and, you know, come across stuff online, but I didn't know so much about even how mechanical royalty is and this and that and how things are, you know, made and collect. So I didn't see that so many people were losing out on money from people just uploading their music online and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a crazy world that we living in, and people just getting smarter and smarter, and the internet is getting more advanced and more advanced. So, you know, we keep on getting on these phones, and the phones making us dumber.
Yeah.
And they on these computers, and they getting smarter.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
You can program the computers, the bots to do most things for you, but that's another.
See what I'm saying? We over here using these phones on and spending our time on these social media apps that make everything at your fingertips so easy. Meanwhile, these people on these damn computers drawing your bank accounts, taking everything.
Yeah. Well, you know, even that, one of the things a lot of people love about you is, you know, it ain't hard to tell that you're a realist. You know, you speak how you feel, and even in some of the other interviews I've heard you speak on, it's been like you speak from a real aspect, even about what happened with your brother and stuff, and just you talk about just things that can happen with just the streets and stuff like that. But you talk about it in a candid and in a real way and stuff. So I guess I want to ask, you know, when it comes to the next generation and, you know, youngsters coming up and stuff, what messages would you impart to like young females or even just youngsters in general? Because I feel as though young people face a lot of adversities and stuff like that. So any words that you would impart?
I think for me, it's sad to watch because they're dying so young. Like somebody just died that was like 14 here. And it's just so young, and it's like they dying younger because it's a disrespect. I see. You know how they always said that you take years off your life when you disrespect people. Like we got to get back to being respectful to one another. We got to get back to loving one another. Like we got to get back to it because long as we not, we gonna keep losing, and that's why we keep losing. We losing against the police. We losing our children. We losing our parents. You know what I'm saying? We losing. We got to get back to loving each other so we can start back to win again as a culture and as a group of people.
I mean, self-love is definitely important, and we do see a lot of breakdown in that. People have different, I guess, reasons as to why. Some people even blame a lot of the music for it and say some of the violent music, even though I feel similarly to what you said earlier, people are in certain conditions and the music kind of comes from out of that as opposed to being something that kind of creates the conditions, but does it sometimes create a cycle at the same time? It's like now some of the younger generation, have they, adapted certain modalities in their mindset based on what they came up off. So we've definitely got a lot of areas to explore and look at as a people and stuff like that. And one thing I'll say, especially about people in New Orleans, even from my time out there, is there's definitely a strong spirit with the black people and stuff there. You know what I mean? Just like a level of depth and stuff like that as well. And I think if that can be harnessed and stuff in the right way, then it's all for positivity.
It is. If people could just, I think the difference, I think, with the music now and the music then is that it's drug music. Like at first it was hustler music. Now it's I'm on drugs music. Like I'm on drugs. Like, and now the kids want to be on drugs. They want to carry guns. They want to do what they seeing these people do on YouTube. These rappers doing these videos on YouTube. It's too much. It's too much idle time on the internet. Like it's just too much time. Like they got to make some things for people to do in reality, so they can stop living in these meta realities and universes so much.
No. Well, the metaverse is, I guess, where it's at right now. I don't know if we could evade that. I think it's gonna be like the Matrix.
No, we don't have to evade it, but we gotta. They don't need 24 hours on it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you totally, but
we don't need to be watching Kai Net sleep. That's craziness. Like that's craziness. We gotta go do something else with our time when he sleep, because he sleep.
Yeah. So speaking of that, outside of the creative industry, how do you spend your time and just on your downtime, relaxing? What can GI Peachez be found doing?
Drinking Casamigos. You can find GI Peachez drinking Casamigos. My free time is Casamigos time, and I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna smoke.
Okay.
Peace.
You're gonna do it how it's supposed to be done.
I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna smoke. That's what you could catch me doing on free time, drink, smoke.
No doubt. So we got to wind down slightly. We got a couple of more questions and stuff. We've had a fan question that has asked about your nephew, Lil Soulja Slim. Will you guys be doing any stuff together this year?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of things together. So right now we're working on the museum, the Soulja Slim Museum together. So we'll be trying to present that to y'all in November. I'm really excited about that. Music wise, I think we'll be working on something really soon. Our time frames are really different right now because he's in a different state than me, but we're gonna get it together just for y'all.
Okay, that'll be awesome. And we're gonna ask you about some artists from New Orleans. I mean, I did mention a few of these artists earlier, but we usually ask people like 5-name word associations. So I'm gonna ask you 5 artists. You just let us know your thoughts on them or experiences if you have any. So first one is Mia X.
We love Mia. She's like the mother of New Orleans. Good friends with my mama. Go to her parties all the time. So she's really cool people. She gives you real good advice all the time.
Nice. Next up, we got another New Orleans female legend, Keedy Black.
Yeah, no Keedy Black, love Keedy Black, love Keedy Black music. She's real genuine. Another good person who you can speak with about a lot of different things. Got a lot of wisdom. Yep.
Okay. Now, I know you said you didn't listen to maybe much up north, but this is a female rapper from up there, Foxy Brown.
Oh yeah, Fox, one of the godmothers of music. I love Foxy Brown though. I love that. That whole era of music was fire.
No doubt. And we've also got more popularity, well, I guess I should say more relevantly nowadays, Cardi B.
I like the entertaining aspect of Cardi B. I'm not so crazy about the music, but I like the party aspect of her. But you can't really hate on her because she's doing her thing. Like she done her thing. I like that she rose from the concrete and came up. Like she doing her thing. She outbeat everything they thought she could do. She outdid it.
And lastly, we've got over to the West Coast, the Lady of Rage.
I like Lady of Rage. I rock rough and tough with my Afro puff.
Rage,
yeah, that's my girl. I like Lady of Rage. She be coming to the little stuff with Mia X. She cool. Nice. She cool as a fan.
Yeah, I always feel that a name should be mentioned a lot more in rap conversations. I know it is
Yeah,
in
they
some of the
don't be
other
like
stuff,
when I
but
worked at the hotel, she stayed at the hotel and they was acting like they ain't no Lady of Rage. I was like, girl, that is Lady of Rage. That's how rock rough and tough in my motherfucking Afro puffs. What you mean? You don't know no Lady of Rage. That's craziness.
no, she definitely a legend. And you know, one thing, especially with hip hop, it's definitely produced its fair share of legends. And yourself, you know, a young legend in the making, and we definitely wish you the best with everything that you've got coming up this year and stuff, and continuing on from that. We definitely want to commend you for all the great work and stuff that you've done with just keeping your brother's name and legacy strong and stuff as well. And you know, I see the cutthroat piece dangling and all that, looking real nice, you know, representing, keeping everything popping.
Definitely. Gotta keep my chain on.
Yep. So we're gonna wind down on this one. Hopefully we can have you back on at some point, you know, for some more fan Q&A. We'll get the fans to send in some questions and stuff like that. We appreciate you taking the time to lace us with some game and just to tap in with us in here in the UK and worldwide.
I ain't never been to the UK. Y'all gotta get me out to the UK so I could eat whatever y'all be eating. What y'all be eating out there? Cause you know we be eating crawfish and stuff over here, but I know y'all probably got good food in the UK.
Well, you know, we ain't. I wouldn't say we got good food in comparison. We definitely ain't got that soul food. I mean, we got the Jamaican food and stuff like that, but
That's what I'm saying. I can eat some, you know, some fufu and stuff.
We got some, yeah, we got the African food and stuff as well. We got you know, there's other little restaurants and stuff, but yeah, British food itself isn't that good. You know, you're talking like fish and chips.
So you being honest, I'm gonna just stick to pizza.
Like potatoes and fish and yeah, you know, so
potatoes and fish.
Yeah, that.
You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna bring me some noodles with me. You know, you can't go wrong. I know y'all got some noodles out there.
Yeah, we got ramen noodles. I mean, that ramen noodles be out.
But yeah, you gotta get me out for the Q&A. I'm gonna come back and do the Q&A with y'all. Give y'all some good stuff. I appreciate y'all for reaching out. Like I said, I ain't never been to the UK, but I'm glad I know that y'all love my brother out in the UK and that real niggas matter everywhere around the world.
Amen. Right on. And you know, that ain't gonna change, always gonna be that way, and we represent and we appreciate you being real, staying real and staying like that. So we're gonna connect soon. We're in touch now, you know, we'll see what the future brings. Maybe, you know, we can get you out here for a show or something at some point. So you know, it'll be good.
All right. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
All right, much love. All right, you take care now.
All righty.
Okay, peace.